have so many cliff notes. Emma is, I don't want to use the word thriving, but I think we have actually really turned a corner.
Amazing.
She's like taking her full feeds for the most part. The colic seems to really have subsided.
Oh,
She is 2 months, and we do need to like get her weight up a little bit. Like she's fourth percentile. She is a tiny, tiny little bean. There's a reason why I call my daughters beans. We have Kaya Bean and Emma Bean. And yeah, I feel good about that.
okay. The percentile thing is extremely stressful for parents. And what I want to say, I want to relay the message that our pediatrician in LA gave us, which I loved so much. I miss him. Like when we moved from LA, I was like, I'm gonna miss you so much. I like gave him a hug goodbye and like almost cried. But he said percentiles are nothing to stress about. As long as your baby is growing on their curve, it doesn't matter if they're in the first percentile or the fourth percentile. It's okay. You just want them to continue to grow on their curve.
Yeah, our pediatrician said the same thing. And Kaya,
Yes.
she did not have a cow's milk protein allergy, and she did not have reflux like this. And she was also really tiny, like fifth percentile.
You're
And
tiny. So of
I feel like
course.
Jason and I are just like like tiny people. And
Yeah.
I feel good about where we're at. Like all her rashes have like kind of cleared up, and
Good.
I can like, yeah, just look at her and feel like, oh, you're so cute and squishy and you're not screaming in my face. So there's that.
And let that be a message of hope to any mom listening who is in the thick of colic because you were, I mean, there was one day you texted me and you said I had to go in the other room and cry alone.
Yeah.
So,
I've had to do that a few times. And you know what? The GI doctor that we went to also for her, like I've been driving this baby around
yeah,
town
you've been
trying
doing
to
the
like figure out
most.
her, like it's been rough, but he said this is a blip in time. You're going to forget about all of this in a
Yeah,
year. It's not like she's going to be screaming at you and crying at you forever and ever and ever. Like you will turn a corner and you will forget this. And
right.
that was such a nice reminder of like, this is just a season. And honestly, it does go by so fast. Like I looked at Kaya the other day and she was putting on this like pink cowboy hat. And Jason and I were like, oh my gosh, you're growing up so fast. Like our baby is putting hats on.
Yeah,
What?
right.
Like, when did that happen? I'm using crayons with her. Like she
Yeah,
is trying to draw. And I just don't understand how not even that long ago, like less than 16 months ago, she was Emma's size.
right. I know.
It goes by fast. And that's like also a very nice way to get through those hard moments. It's like a calming thing to tell yourself, like, this is not going to last forever. We're going to make it through. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and we should actually be like savoring these moments a little bit because we're never going to do this again.
Right.
Like we're never going to have a 9 week old baby.
Andrew is so great because he reminds me to say, instead of we have to, we get to. Just changing the perspective a little bit and just, yes, it's so hard. And a lot of times it's easier said than done, but it is helpful to just change the
Yeah,
narrative a little bit. And what a blessing. So she's here, she's
totally.
doing better, she's turned a corner. I'm so proud of you and
Yes. The
her.
other thing, thank you.
Mhm.
Jason and I had sex first time
Okay.
postpartum. All right.
And
It didn't hurt. I mean, it hurt a little bit, not as much as like after the first C-section.
mhm.
And so like it hurt a little bit. I had to like ease into it, and then it was fine.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So, if you've had a C-section, obviously you have a wound on your stomach. So,
Yeah.
like missionary doesn't feel like it'd be ideal. What position is ideal
No, it
for?
was it was missionary. I mean, during the pregnancy, it's like when you're on your side and like from the back, like that's the only way I think
Yeah,
to do it.
yeah.
Um,
Or
and
doggy style. It's
yeah, but even that, it's like then I don't know, I get weird about the baby.
yeah.
But yeah, we just had like normal, regular missionary, a little foreplay,
Amazing.
sexy time. And it reminded me of the episode where we talked about like, where do you do it?
Yeah, yeah. What was the
Because you have the
consensus here?
babies.
Yeah.
So obviously Kaya sleeps in her room in her crib, and Emma was fully in the snoo next to us, fast asleep, with a little swivel sound going.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't
Do
really feel that weird about it. Is that weird?
no, I
What else are
mean,
we supposed to do?
well, you could do what we did and do it in the
Right,
basement like you're teenagers again. I mean,
right.
I don't know. There's no good answer. I think you do
It's,
whatever you're comfortable with.
I know, and it's funny because then it's also like in a weird way, like you feel like you're sneaking around.
Yes.
Is that weird?
Yeah, it's weird how things come full circle. Like it's,
Yeah.
you know,
Like you
first
feel
it's
like
your
you're
parents, now
teenagers.
your parents trying not to have your kids. I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
sneaky sex. Did you feel
Which
like you
is,
had to be quiet or was it like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Could have not.
How many weeks postpartum are you now? 8? 9?
So, yeah, I'm almost 9 weeks postpartum. We waited a little bit past the 6 weeks, mostly because I got my period
Yeah.
and it was awful.
Mhm.
And I just like wasn't really feeling like I needed to like feel myself a bit more, if that makes sense.
Sure, of course. Very important question. Oh, wait. I was about to ask, what are you doing for birth control? But this was also a big milestone moment for Jason because he's had a vasectomy.
Yes, but because you have to wait a certain amount of time after you've had a vasectomy to make sure there's no additional swimmers that can get through.
Right, right.
Still
Important.
using, yes. And I even said, I was like, you have to pull out. He's like, I'm pulling out
Yeah.
because we don't want the same thing. I mean, I'm so grateful that we have two babies, but one was definitely a surprise. And so he pulled out.
Yes. Okay.
And
Yeah.
then my last thing is just a tip
Ooh.
really fast. Aquaphor.
Okay.
OMG. I got it because I read that it can help heal your C-section scar.
Mm.
You put it on
Oh,
there. I've never bought Aquaphor before. In my mind, it was like chemically and just like not good. That's not the case at all. It's literally just like a healing ointment, and you put it on your C-section scar and it helps. And then I went down, as I like to do, a Reddit rabbit hole,
your
and
signature
people
move.
are, yeah, people are putting it on their face at night. It is the best moisturizer in the entire world. Holy shit. I feel like I have like a glossy, like wet, moisturized face. It's
Mm.
like working. It's incredible. It's $13 on Amazon. Anyways, that's my hot tip.
Oh, Aquaphor.
Aquaphor,
Sponsor
who
us.
knew? Yeah, but like really, who knew?